we have a button. So we have a button play, we have a button pause, we have a button stop. We have three buttons. Now we want these three buttons to do three different tasks. One should play, another should pause, another should stop. That means how many functions are required? Three. But if you write three functions, every function memory is independent. Data sharing between functions is difficult. All three are related to one song. The song is playing, the song must be paused, the song must be stopped. And you write three different functions, means three different memory. That's not good. Now, what you will do in JavaScript, you can write only one function for all three buttons. But how one function can do three different tasks, right? That means what we do is we will write here a function called player. This function will be used by all three: on click player, on click player, on click player. That means all three are using same function, then obviously all three will do same work. But we want them to handle different functionality. Generally what we do, so this button have a name called play, this button have a name called pause, this button have a name called stop. Now what you can do is every event in JavaScript can have two arguments. One is this, another one is event. Every event can have two arguments, this and event. What is purpose of these two arguments is this is used to send information about current element. Current element means button. Button ID, button name, button class name, button width, button height, button color, everything about button you can send using which one? This. Event contains information about current event. That means event related details. For example, you are using Google Map. In Google Map or anywhere maps, Zomato, Swiggy, or Uber, everywhere, you click on a map, then it will put a pin there, a pointer there. How it knows where you clicked? That means it puts a pointer exactly in the location where you clicked. How it knows where you clicked? That means it is accessing your mouse X, Y positions. That means it's not about just click, it is about where you clicked also we can know. For example, you opened a dialog box. You click outside the dialog box, it closes. How it knows you clicked outside? That means it's not about click, it is about even where you clicked, how you clicked also matters. For example, you see here, for example, what I am doing, we have www.amazon.in. Okay, this is some Amazon, https colon double slash. Yeah, this is Amazon. You see what happens when I move the mouse onto it. It says that control plus click, command plus click will open. I am clicking on it. It's not opening. But when I use a control key and click on it, it will open. How it knows that I used a control key or not? Means while clicking, how it knows which key I am using as a combination. All this is done by using event arguments. That means event knows how you are clicking, where you are clicking. It's not just click. It even knows where you are clicking, how you are clicking. That information is sent by using event arguments. That means now we are having two arguments. One is this, another one is event. That means two references you need. One is obj, another one is e. Those are formal names. You can give any formal name. One is referring to button, another is referring to event. Right now through obj, what you can access? Through obj we can access all button details, means button id, button name, button class name, button width, and all we can access. Through e, what you can access? Event details. For example, what I am doing now, let's put a console log, and I am using here, so button name. How to access button name? Obj dot what? Name. Suppose in the next line I am accessing the x position. How to access x position? Where they clicked? E dot client x, it will get the x position. That means what will happen now here is I clicked on pause, it gets me pause button 68. I click on stop, so stop button, and it is 147. I clicked on play, then it gets the position where I am. That means we know which button is being clicked. And you can write a condition. If name is pause, what should happen? If name is play, what should happen? That's generally how we write events in JavaScript, event handlers in JavaScript. So technically, what are event arguments and what is their purpose? So we have two event arguments. One is this, another one is what? Event. Syntactically, just I will give a point here. So we have a button. So on click, some action. We have two keywords, this and event. We have a action. It will collect element and event. Element dot id, element dot name, element dot value. E dot client x, e dot client y, like this. These are event arguments. And what you learned in JavaScript is event listener cannot have two arguments. It can have only one argument. Event handler will have two arguments, but event listener cannot have two arguments. It will have only one. Then how to access? Here important, event listener can handle only one event argument. Event listener can handle only one event argument. It cannot handle both, only one event argument, but it provides access to both. Listener argument can provide access to both element and event details. It provides access to element and event details. So event listener can have only one argument. For example, what we are doing. So for button, we are writing add event listener. When we are writing add event listener, it will have event name click and it will have a function. This function can have only one event. It cannot have two arguments. When you are writing in a handler, handler can have two arguments, but listener usually have only one. Then how to access details? Event dot client x, event dot client y, means event details are directly accessed, but element details are accessed by using event dot what? target.id, event.target.name, event.target.value. So we have to access using target. Actually, your React follows this mechanism. And if you don't know this in JavaScript, it will be like something complicated. So React follows this mechanism very much. So it will not use an event argument this. It will not have this. Everything is accessed. Yes, you two people, are you fine? Next, your term will come. Means for topic wise, I will ask you questions. So be alert. Wait for your turn. So event listener cannot have two arguments. Event listener will have only one. And through that one, you can access both element details and event details. Element details are accessed using what? Event. Event dot what? Target. And event details are accessed directly. Right. For example, see here. Okay, this is handler. I will copy this example here. I will keep it. This is actually handler related. Okay, see, for example, we are having any event dynamically. Let's put some button ID as btn delete and delete. This button have a name delete. Okay. So body on load. So body load. On body load, we are writing a function. Document queries get element by ID btn delete. Okay, add event listener. You see now, event listener is having an event called click, and it will have a function. In that function, I'm writing lambda, means shorthand arrow technique. And in that function, you can have only one argument, event. You can have only one argument. You cannot have two arguments. You can have only one argument. Then how to access both details, element details, event details? Then what we do? By using this technique, we access. What we do? Suppose I want to access button ID. How to access button ID? Event dot target dot ID. How to access button name? In order to access button name, event dot target dot what name. Suppose I want to access exposition. How to access exposition? Directly event dot what? Client X. Event details are directly accessible. Element details are accessible with reference of target. That means you can see now when I click this button, all the details are working here. Button ID, button name, position. It is going to access using that. Event handler will have two arguments. Event listener will have only one. Your React completely uses this mechanism. In React, whenever you write events, you will not have two arguments. You will have only one. And you need to use target to get the element related details. React events, I will explain in the next point. We'll see. But this is important to understand. What is event handler, listener, and arguments? So these are about event arguments. What are event arguments? I will put one example here. Remember, without knowing all these, you can't crack any React interview. Frankly speaking, you can't crack any React interview without knowing all this, because React interview is all about these things. Right? Majority people fail in React interviews because not good at JavaScript. And React every interview 90-80% interview questions will be JavaScript. It's because it's a JavaScript library. If you say I know little bit JavaScript, then they will say that okay, come back when you are full with JavaScript. Right? Take it easy. Don't never attend interviews on React if you are not perfect in JavaScript. Take it very easy. You will never crack. Right? By mistake also don't go. They will screw you like anything. They will make you feel like you don't know anything. Understand? Learn perfect JavaScript if you want. You are attending React interviews. Otherwise, it's very difficult. Right? So you have to face lot of in-depth questions on it. Right? And generally, if you perfectly learn JavaScript, you can easily manage. Right? Because these are all in JavaScript general things we discuss every day. JavaScript, we learn all this. Right? So we have event arguments. Okay, next important point is so custom arguments. What are custom arguments? So actually, custom arguments are nothing but event can handle user defined arguments along with the along with the default arguments. Event can handle user defined arguments along with default arguments. You can have default arguments along with your own arguments. We need to send our own data sometimes. That is possible by using this mechanism. So, and you need a reference parameter to access custom arguments. And very important, you can use REST and a spread approach. For handling parameters. In JavaScript, you already learned REST parameters, spread operators. You can use REST and spread approach for handling parameters. You can send custom arguments also. Custom arguments. For example, you see, suppose you have a button on click. Suppose insert click. So this is one argument related to element. Event is related to event. And here you can send some TV, some array. You can send your own arguments. This is nothing but we are sending one number, we are sending one string, we are sending one array also. These are custom arguments. You can send only custom arguments. You can send along with default arguments. Anything you can do. But how to collect all these, how to access all this. I will use a function, and what I am doing, I am giving some insert click, and what I am doing, first one I am giving obj that is related to this, another one this is related to event, after that dot dot dot, and I give params. This is REST parameter na? That means all others are stored in which reference? All others are stored in which reference? Params. That means the first one is this, second one is event, and all others are stored inside these params. You know how to deal REST parameter. Huh? REST parameter is array type. REST parameter must be last in formal list. All these rules you know. So you can handle your own arguments also, along with the default arguments, custom arguments. I'm not giving any example, already you know in JavaScript. So these are default and custom arguments. You can have your own arguments also. Only custom arguments and only default arguments. or both custom and default arguments? So event can manage default and custom arguments. So only custom arguments also it can handle. Next important, after understanding this, another concept is, so what is event propagation or event bubbling? How to prevent and how to prevent propagation? That's a common question in interviews. What is event propagation or event bubbling and how to prevent propagation? That's another basic thing. So what is event propagation or event bubbling? What's the concept of this? For example, this problem regularly comes while working with events. Suppose we are having a header, some nav bar. Okay, in this we are having Amazon and we have a button called search. Okay, so we'll add some style, border 2 pixel solid black. Okay, and I'm giving padding as 20 pixel. Fine. Now this nav bar have on click, nav click, and this search have on click, that is search click. So you are writing function here, script function nav click will put an alert saying that nav bar clicked, and search click will put an alert called search clicked. It will put an alert search clicked. Okay, now see what will happen here. So we have a nav bar and a search button. I clicked on nav bar, it says nav bar is clicked. That's okay, good. I clicked on search, it says search clicked. That's good. After that, it says nav bar clicked. I never clicked the nav bar. This is called propagation, and it is a very big problem. Why? Because if you are having parent and child elements and you push the child, parent knows it. That means if parent is having an event, parent event also triggers. And this will not happen for every event, only certain events, because some events don't push. Some events just change. They will not push the buttons. Only push events will feel it. Means what is the meaning? Meaning is nothing but a parent knows that you clicked on child, but it should not know. I don't need parent to know. That means when I click search, only search should work. But what happened, because search is inside navbar, when I push search, navbar also simulates, it knows. And automatically you see navbar is also clicked. But what we want is this search button has to stop the propagation. Then what to do? The search click should have an event argument, event. You have to collect the event argument, and through event argument we have a method called stop propagation. We have to use this method stop propagation. Now what will happen is when nav click, nav bar is clicked, on search click, search is clicked. After that it will stop. Nav bar is not clicked. That is very, very important in hierarchies, because later in React also what you do, you will write, you will design a table. In table you will put some data, and in the table you will have insert button, update button, delete button. Table have sorting, filtering like options. You click on table, it will do some sorting. You click on button inside table, it will do some another action. But these buttons will trigger the table actions also. So we need to stop them. So child event propagates the event to its parent. We should stop. And how we do that? Stop propagation. Why it is called event bubbling? Because a bubble inside another bubble. You cannot touch the child without knowing parent. That means parent mandatory knows, because without touching the parent bubble, you cannot touch the child bubble. There is no possibility at all. That is called as event bubbling. But better to say event propagation. That is event propagation. How you prevent propagation of events? First, what is event propagation? It is a mechanism where the child element event can simulate the parent events. It is a mechanism where the child element event can simulate the parent events. So child events propagate